All right, so our whole deal today is working with this kind of side bend, the lateral flexion of our spine, and then also the lateral side of our leg and hip, all the way down to the lower limb. Okay, so it's
Okay.
all about the side today. We're going to start with this bad boy. Okay, and so
Mm.
you might have done this before. You know that tight spot on your hip right here in the front that if you press into, you kind of feel that muscly part and it feels good sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? It's
The side.
if you feel your bone, your pelvic
Uh-huh.
bone, you go
Uh-huh.
down to the side a little bit, kind of right at the crease of your hip. So if you were to lift your leg, you kind of go back just a little bit and it should be right there. It should be kind of a tender spot.
Oh, okay.
We're just trying to find that, okay? Once we do, we're gonna lay down on the ground. We're gonna take this ball, we're gonna put it on there, and we're gonna roll onto it. Okay? Ooh, it should be real easy to find down in this position because so we're not putting it on the bone, but there should be a muscle right around there and you should feel it, okay? And this is where that golf ball is going to be really intense. So you might want to put a pillow down, okay? We're going to rest our head inside our elbow right here, and we're just going to go up and down with this leg. Okay, and then once we do a few up and downs, we're going to do is we're going to put this leg on top, we're going to go forward and back. So we're just going to bring this knee forward and then extend it. Okay, so we come up and down with the knee. We curl it in and we go forward and back. But it might not be that fast. Take some time. It can get really tight in there. But we got to be all the way on our side so that your hips are stacking. You might need to move the ball around a little bit to make sure you're finding the right spot.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go about 30 seconds per side. How's that feel? That might be too big of a pillow to actually feel it, but you let me know.
I can feel it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, it should be pretty tight.
Yeah.
Well, or it might not be. It might not be, but a lot of people usually it's pretty tight.
It is.
And that's called your TFL. That little muscle patch right there.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple more seconds. Good. And so when we do this, make sure you move that knee forward and back. So not just the lower leg right here. We want that knee moving forward and back.
Oh.
Yeah, so up and down and back and forth. And that'll be the key to unlocking that. Okay, let's go ahead and switch on to the other side. And let's see.
This perfect.
There you go. Oh. Bree! How you doing?
Good. Oh my gosh, I completely missed the link.
No, that's okay. We haven't gotten too far at all. You're right on time. Okay, you need your lacrosse ball.
Lacrosse ball. Jason, where are lacrosse balls?
All right, and Erwin, I'm going to show you a visual demonstration to help you find this a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
So this right here, that little red spot is the muscle we're going for.
Okay.
That locks in. So you see how small that is compared to where we're trying to get to, right? So it's a very small little muscle right here because there's a lot of other muscles around it too. So I want to make sure we're hitting the right spot. It's right at that crease of the hip, right under that pelvic bone, okay? So we're going to sometimes want to move a little bit farther back because it feels like it's tight, but we don't want to do that, right? We want to stay a little bit more in front right at the crease of the hip, okay?
Oh, I think I did the wrong side, in the wrong area.
All right, well,
So it's
let's
like in the front?
a little bit more in front. So not directly down the center, but if we were to come off to the side a little bit, it's right in this front part up here. We don't want to go to the back because that gets more into our glute, which is important at certain times, which is not what we're doing right now. So I'm going to show you one more time, and we'll try it again. We'll give another 30 seconds each side.
Okay.
So this
That's
deal
it.
right here, I don't know if that's focused enough.
Okay.
Get my face out of there. But you see how it's
Yeah.
more in the front, in the front of the hip instead of behind. That's the butt muscle. Okay?
Okay.
Is it in front or the back of your hip bone?
So if you find the ASIS, which is this protruding little bump right in front, it's going to be
Right.
slightly back, very slightly. You almost go straight down and then like a half an inch back.
Okay.
So if you find that bone, you go about down an inch and then over an inch and a half, an inch, and it should be right there.
I found it.
Yep, it'll be a tight one. So what we're doing, Maria, is we're taking this ball now, we're placing it right on that spot on the hip, and we're going two motions. We're coming up and down with this knee, okay? And then we curl this leg in, and we go forward and back with the knee, okay? This one can be pretty tight, so it doesn't have to be a lot of motion really quick. It can be a lot slower.
Oh,
And we can mediate the pressure by kind of staying up, right? Erwin, is that easier to find, or does that feel like more in the right spot?
Yeah, but hard to place the ball.
Yeah, it's you could try without the pillow and just put it down there and then kind of control yourself from going so deep into it, right? It'll be really hard if you just lay onto it because it's a lot of pressure right there. But if you have your hands up a little bit and you slowly lower onto that ball, it might be a good option.
okay. So are we moving the bottom leg or the top leg?
The leg that we're going into is the one that's coming up and down.
Oh
and
my
then
God, that
Oh man.
that is tight.
Yeah, that's a big one. So this one, guy, both of you are daytime sitters, right? As with a lot of
Yeah.
people. This muscle has a direct connection to our glute. They both form together through this fascia and they come down and connect to your knee, right? But if we're sitting down all the time, this
Yeah.
relationship between this muscle and our glute's stretched out right now, right? But this muscle right here is compact and tight because we're in hip flexion. So if we're sitting down a lot, this one will get overworked a lot and it's a lot smaller. And then our glute will start not working as hard because this one's so tight.
Oh my God, this is so tight.
Yeah, so especially for you two, this is a good little reset to know if you've been sitting a lot and you start to feel either leg pain down the side, if you feel kind of some hip pain, or if you feel a little wonky side to side.
Oh, wow.
And if you haven't switched, go ahead and switch already.
Okay.
We'll go about 45 seconds. That feel a little different, Erwin?
Yeah, but I cannot keep the ball on that area. It's harder.
You can, like exactly what you're doing too, if you can pinpoint it and just kind of press in
Uh-huh.
like this from the top, and you really want to just press in and dive there and move the ball around there too. Whatever you can do to get some pressure on that area.
Yeah.
If you do it like this, bend your leg a little bit and bring it in
Mm.
and then press.
Oh, this side is worse.
Yeah. This one gets
Oh my-
real tight.
Holy guacamole, Batman.
So Erwin, you have some homework on getting a lacrosse ball.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
$2 on Amazon. I need you to order one.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
And eventually once it loosens up, you'll be able to just lie flat on it. And sometimes just sitting there lying flat without even any movement is really good. And then you can kind of slowly
that's what
work. But it's a small muscle, so you can get it relatively quickly.
Oh, on this side, I just laying on it because I can't even move.
Yeah. And
It
this
is
one,
so-
sometimes you'll just feel it all the way down the leg into the side leg muscles if you kind of sit there.
Yes. Oh, good Lord. So I'm in Arizona.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Visiting, Jason?
I'm visiting Jason and they've got a complete freaking home gym. Did you hear me yell?
That's awesome.
Everything under the sun. I love it.
Okay, now we're moving on. So we're gonna reference this picture again. You see this white part that goes all the way down?
Yes.
That's the fascia, right? That's what kind of connects. That's a big tendon and some fascia in there that connects the muscle to our knee. Under that, there's a big muscle. That's our lateral quad, right? So under this big sheath of connective tissue is our big muscle on the side of our leg. So it kind of acts like a tension pump. So when our lateral quad flexes, it creates tension there. So what we want to do is now we've hit this part, we're going to hit the lateral quad so it can relax a little bit. And this will help us get a little bit more of an effective stretch when it comes to the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our roller, our foam roller. Okay, and we're going to come to the side here. We're going to prop ourselves up and we're going to come on the side of the leg only. Okay, so we could do this a few different ways. That sometimes is really hard to prop yourself up enough because this might be tight. So what we can do is we can just take the butt of our hand right here and we can dig into the side forward and back. Okay, we go all the way up and all the way down. This roller probably a little bit better, but if this is too hard to keep yourself up like so, then let's go to the hand, okay?
Okay.
And we're working all the way down the side, kind of from where we were working right here, all the way down to a couple inches above the knee.
Oh.
Oh yeah. This one will start making you sweat.
Oh my gosh, do you hear me making these noises?
This is a tight one. Especially because there's a lot of stuff there, right? This could be a lot of just tension from all that fascia that runs down the side of the leg, or just that lateral quad's really tight too.
Good Lord. I think I have knots.
Yeah. It'll get
Oh
bound
my-
up in there.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Couple more seconds.
Wow.
And we're getting that whole length of the side of the leg.
Oh. Oh, it's finally loosening up.
Good.
I did the ab and legs workout yesterday that you had on
Nice, good. How'd that go?
really well.
Love it.
Legs are feeling it today.
So it's a perfect one. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Okay, so when we do this, we can use this back leg to hold yourself up a little bit more.
Okay.
And this arm, prop yourselves up. Trying to relax that bottom leg.
Okay, interesting. This one's not as bad. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, geez, crickets.
Oh my gosh. You know it's tight when I have to turn the fan on because I'm starting to sweat because it's friggin' so tight.
Oh,
Here you go. Good.
oh my God, I have to undo 39 years worth of sitting.
This one's always really tight on me. Those side lateral quads. And it'll show us a great stretch here in a second for this. Erwin, how's that feeling?
Yeah.
It's feeling.
Oh, it's feeling.
Good. 5 more seconds.
Let me just hold out.
Good. All right. Now let's come on up. Okay. So we could do this a few different ways. One is we're going to take our foot under here. Okay. And then this top foot is going to come to the outside of the knee. Okay. And then we drop that foot. And we're going to basically hug our legs. Okay. This one can be a little harder to get into. Okay. We should feel a nice stretch all along this side right here. Right, as we come forward. If that's hard, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put this leg on top here. We're going to drop our hips to the side. And then we're going to grab that leg and start inching it up. And we'll feel a nice stretch all along the side. Okay? So one is we're just lying back here. We have our foot planted and we drop it down. Okay? And the other one is we curl this heel into our butt. Place that toe or that foot down, and we lean forward and hug our own leg. Okay, one might feel a little bit more glute. From here too, we can turn into that leg more, and it's going to be feeling like more of a stretch along the side. Okay, so give it a shot, whichever one. You could try both, which I'd advise. Go about 40 seconds, nice stretch. Should feel a nice stretch all along there.
Oh, that feels so yummy. Oh,
Good. That's what I like to hear.
oh. I need to do more. I need to remember to do more stretching.
Yeah, that's the part that always falls to the wayside. Looks good though. All right, and so now I want both you guys to try this one.
Do you want me to try that one?
Yep, so you're just gonna lay back. One foot goes on top of the other thigh. You're gonna grab your heel and drop it down to the side. So if it was looking like on this side, we just grab, drops down, and we lay back.
Oh, I'm getting more of a stretch this way.
Good. That's why I always try those different ones. And they're probably a little bit different stretch too. So both of them are effective, but if one works better for you, let's hit that one. Especially because usually when we stretch, it's like only for a little bit of time. We're like, all right, we got this amount of time to stretch, or we're stretching before the workout or something. So if we can find a more effective stretch, we always want to.
Yes.
Good, and then from there, Marie, try keeping your leg up a little bit. right? So this knee is going to point straight up, right? So it's not lying across.
Ah,
Bring
okay,
this heel more in and keep that knee straight up.
okay.
And that will feel more in that lateral quad
That makes a difference.
PFL area. And then, so let's go ahead and switch sides if you haven't.
Okay.
Let's do that first one.
Oh. I'm feeling that.
This is a fun one though, because you'll hop up in a second and it'll feel so loose, nice.
Wow. Especially after those squats yesterday.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, the eccentric ones?
Yes.
Yeah, those are deadly.
Mhm.
All right,
Wow.
let's go to the lying back one.
Yes.
Make sure
Here.
knee nice and high. And staple the other shoulder down.
Wait a minute. You are like, oh yeah. Much tighter on this side. Oh.
Let's go 15 more seconds.
Wow.
Good, it'll slowly come on out.
Oh.
And just stand on up and see how it feels.
Well,
Oh.
Looser.
yeah, looser and lighter.
Good.
Wow. That feels
Awesome.
great.
That's a good one, especially for you guys. Okay. Next, we're gonna work on getting to our QL. Okay. I think we've
Ooh.
probably talked about both of this with you. We're gonna use this lacrosse ball, or where'd it go? We can use a broomstick. Okay.
Okay.
But our QL is a deep muscle in our lower back. Here, okay? And that's one of the predominant muscles for bringing our hip and our rib cage together, right? I.e. side bending, okay? Or hip hiking. Does both. Kind of the same thing. Okay, so what we need to do is work in between the rib cage and the pelvis, but we don't want to come straight to the side because there's a lot more muscle there, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come almost at a 45-degree angle into the back here. And what we want to do is we don't want to go away from it. We want to push into it here. Okay? So it's really effective if we take this ball, we put it on that side. Okay, we lift our leg. I want to come into hip flexion, so I'm bringing this knee close to my chest. Okay? And then I slowly turn slightly, and almost like I'm trying to do a crunch up here. And we'll put that weight. I can take my hand and kind of prop my hip up. Even this hand on the other side is propping the hip up. I don't know if you can see my fingers. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of a crunch. I'm turning, and I'm just making small movements. Okay, but it's right in this back spot right here. Okay, so you can do that with the ball, or you can take a broomstick and you can put it into a corner so it doesn't move. And we do that same thing. We lean back into it. We have it like with our hand right here, so there's a little point sticking out because we always want to control this, especially if we're going into the back here. For here, we lean into it and we direct it with our hand. Okay, this one's a little harder, takes a little bit more coordination, and it's harder because we can't go into that hip flexion as easy, but we always want to make sure we're doing this, right? We're going over to the side and we're coming forward. Okay, this one might take some practice to really get down deep into there, but I guarantee you this one is tight on both of you.
Oh yeah.
It might be hard to find it and you're like, maybe it's not tight, but I guarantee you it's tight. Because everybody who has a desk job, this one is tight.
Oh, this feels
Or just
wonderful.
most people in general, if you exercise or are alive. This one is so deep and gets neglected because nobody thinks about it.
Can you show me
Always
again
one
how?
we got to work on. What's that?
Can you show me again how to do it on the back? On the,
Absolutely.
the ball?
Okay, so it's like this spot right here. You can even see where it's red on me, where I was digging that ball into. Okay, so it's
Oh yeah.
sure you can feel for your pelvis, and we're kind of putting it right above our pelvis.
Okay.
Okay, and then from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lean forward like we're doing a crunch and a side bend. Okay, and I put it in that spot. We put it on that spot, we lean back, we bring this leg up, we fold it over, and now almost like you're trying to do a crunch or a sit-up
Oh.
type deal. You can have your other hand kind of under your hips.
Okay.
But the key part is putting it in the right spot first.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this one's going to be really hard with a golf ball, Erwin.
It is.
Because it's not big enough to go deep enough into your back.
Oh, there we go.
Smaller.
If you have a tennis ball, it might work better, Erwin.
Oh,
Yeah, I do, but I put it
Yeah,
in the
so if you have a tennis ball, or just make sure to just go on Amazon after real quick, order a lacrosse ball, you will not regret it. Or you could give this a shot. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch sides.
Okay.
switch the other side.
Yeah. Or when you could try just going in with your thumb.
Come here, Lulu Bear. Lulu Bear.
Oh, the doggo.
So-
Or
My
if-
granddaughter.
If you're really having trouble, you can always try and go in with your thumb like this, just standing.
Oh.
So when you do it with your thumb, you're going to press into that spot. You're going to bend forward, and then you'll slowly inch back into it.
Oh, there it is. This is Lulu.
Yeah,
Lulu
thumb
also-
right here.
Wants to get into the action.
Adorable.
Lulu Bear. Come here, Lulu.
He's like, I want to stretch my QL too. Help.
Lulu, come here, honey. Honey, it's okay. Lulu, you're in the way. Come here, baby girl. It's okay. Yes, honey. Oh my God, this side. Okay, so my right side, everything is so much tighter. Yes, girl.
That's usually pretty common on your dominant side. That'll kind of take the brunt of a lot of stuff. Could be a little dysfunction left to right too, but if you keep working on this stuff, it should even out. And the really hard part about this one is trying to relax enough to get that thing to go far enough in. All right, whatever you're putting on your spine. Because a lot of time you'll feel it starting to work and you'll kind of tense up.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff muscle-wise going on right there. And for us to get deep in there, we have to really relax. And that's the hard part, honestly.
Mhm.
Okay, as soon as you said that, I relaxed and you're right. It went deeper. Oh.
And okay, so let's go ahead and go on to our stretch now. And so this stretch, when you feel this, it'll give you a good indication of where to actually go into your back, okay? I'll show you two stretches. We'll do the first one from like sitting down here, okay? And it's the generic one you see coming out to the side, right? We have this side bend. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep our chest forward. I don't want to turn here and look at this leg, right? I want to keep this open. I reach over my head into here. That's really hard for some people to even sit like this sometimes, so I'll show you a different one in a minute. If you can, we get the elbow to the inside of the leg. That's almost like a stop to keep you forward. You reach down and over. And we're going to feel a nice stretch along the side here. Okay? Sometimes, if it's really tight, we might feel like our obliques stretching a little bit more than our actual QL. But it'll take some time to really get past that. So, and if you're really inflexible in that direction, it's going to be a lot harder to even sink far enough over to make that happen. So this is a good one to practice getting to. Eventually we'll be able to do this. I'm going to show you a little easier one here in a second. Okay.
All right.
And then even then when you're going to the side, sometimes your hamstring is so tight on that other side that it won't even let you do it. So we're going to go find a doorway, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to hold on to the inside of the doorway like this. Okay?
Okay.
I'm just coming over, holding on to this doorway. And our feet do a really important thing. Our far leg. So if this was like the doorway that I'm holding on to, I'm holding on to the doorway. This, I take like a back step. This foot comes here. Okay? This one in front, and then I lean out this way. So I'm doing like this. Okay? So if I were to go over to my doorway, we hold on. I take this back step, and now I lean in. So I'm dropping my hip to the floor at like a 45-degree angle. I think about this hip tilting to the floor, right? So this is tilting to the floor, and I'm spreading my rib cage and my pelvis. And you can think about that. It'll really help about opening your pelvis and your rib cage. Okay? We reach over here, and now we just sit down and back. Okay? Potentially, your lat is going to be so tight that you only feel it up here. That's a possibility. In that case, we just flex the lat just a little bit, and we have this tension under our arms, so it pulls the rib cage up. But that's why the QL is so tricky, is because there's so many other muscles around it that are potentially really tight, to where it's really hard to stretch it.
Seriously, Lulu? You didn't want to go out? Okay, so.
Can you show again, Tess?
Yeah. So Marie, now dip your left shoulder to the ground.
What's that?
So let me show you this again. So when we're holding on, so say this is our wall right here, right? And we're holding on to it. This left shoulder is going to be down, and this other one's going to come up top. Okay,
Got it.
now we don't want to turn back in this way. We want to open up this way. Okay?
Got it.
Here, we back step, and now we drop. I'm sitting down and back,
Oh, okay,
Here.
I feel it now.
and now I push away from the wall as this hip goes down to the ground. And I'm leaning, because this is here for me to grab onto the wall so I can lean back, my hips back.
Got
There
it.
you go, Erwin. So Erwin, now what you would do is you would take your left foot, step behind, yep, and now turn your hips to face into the doorway, just slightly. Yes, and now sit down and back towards your camera.
Sit down.
Yeah, and now what you want to do is you almost want to curl your hips under, right? You're curling your hips under, and that's going to bring your pelvis away from your rib cage.
Okay.
And this is a tricky one. Like, that's why the QL is such a silent killer, honestly. It's so hard to get into and stretch. But if you just start opening that, and I want you guys to think about from hand to foot, as much of a bend as you can get, right? I'm not just leaning away with my hip like this where I'm at a right angle, right? I'm trying to bend, make like a half moon.
Okay. Wow.
Right?
Did that help a little bit when I said that?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, so let's go ahead and go on to the other side.
Whoa.
Oh, boy. So now, this one's down here, this one's here. Okay, hold on. You know I'm uncoordinated, right? Okay, so now this one goes behind. Oh,
There you
God.
go. So- You're right. So now face the wall.
Okay,
Yep. And now drop your left shoulder. Yeah. So you dropped your left shoulder last time, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So now you want to basically flip 180 degrees so that your left hand is on top. Yeah.
there we go. Okay,
And now you're
all
going to
right.
almost look through the window like you're trying to face me.
Okay,
Yep. And you back step with your left foot.
oh, my left foot, wrong foot. My other, oh, there we go.
There it is.
There it is.
This one's a tricky setup.
Yeah, whoops, there it is. Oh,
Erwin, that side looks a little more flexible for you.
it is much more flexible.
Oh,
And
Lulu's looking
you'll
at,
find usually with these stretches, you usually find one is a lot tighter than the other because it compensates by lifting one hip. It rarely lifts both hips. It's kind of counterintuitive of what it does. So usually you'll find one side is kind of stuck higher than the other. And so mentally, or note that, write it down if you have to. Let's go 10 more seconds and then we're moving on. All right, and slowly come on up.
oh, sorry, slowly.
That's good. I love it. I hope that was a good one. How's it feel? A little
I
lighter?
feel-
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. So keep those two in your back pocket. Those are, if you ever start feeling any back pain or anything or tightness back here, man, that's a go-to. Okay. So that was a little bit more on the back, but we have a lot of muscles here in the front, okay, that their main job isn't to necessarily side bend, but it's more rotation. So bringing one shoulder to the opposite hip. But when we do that and we kind of come forward, we have a contraction there. So we're going to work our internal and external oblique here. The way we're going to do our SMR, which is just like the muscle release, is just working with our fingers. Okay, so we just kind of curl our fingers in a little like this. We hook in. I think we did this a couple weeks ago. And we're just gonna, from the bottom of kind of the front of our rib cage right here, all the way to our pelvis. Okay, so this whole space is free game. What we're gonna try to do is really relax in. We're just gonna work in side to side, almost at a 45-degree angle, the opposite direction. We can lean away from it a little bit so the muscle is a little more exposed. You're just kind of moving around side to side, getting all that. It might help also if we're laying down, because it's really hard to shut those muscles off if we're standing.
Oh, yeah, lying down is better.
And we're going all the way in front of our pelvis too, right? So our pelvis opens up like little ears on each side. So if you find the ridge of your pelvis, you want to go almost a little in front, almost into that hip flexor area. Okay, now let's go ahead and rub that other side. Same deal. Just go ahead and switch sides, rub the other one. You might immediately feel like, oh my gosh, this is so tight. How did my other one loosen up so quick? But this muscle is more of like a sheath muscle, right? It doesn't have a huge, big round belly. So this one tends to loosen up kind of quick.
Okay, it got really warm.
It got really warm. You got all that friction going.
Yeah. Oh,
It's also a good way to progress your digestion. If you start doing stuff like this, you ever feel like things just aren't moving? Give the abdomen a little rub. Couple more seconds.
ah,
Okay. Hop on up. If you have a broomstick or a band, it could be really effective to help you into the motion. Not necessary though, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're going to take a big step forward with one side, okay? And we're gonna then turn our whole body to the side. So I wanna go up and back at like a 45-degree angle. So if I was here, I'm going up and back at like a 45-degree angle, almost like I'm trying to look over my shoulder. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I take this step. I wanna extend this back leg. So I squeeze my glute just a little bit, and now we go up and back. And we should feel a huge stretch right where we were rubbing on that side. Okay, so once again, step forward, we extend the leg, we go, take these hands, go up and back like a 45. And now it's almost like we're trying to separate this shoulder from this hip. Right, so instead of coming forward, coming out and away. And we'll feel a nice stretch.
Yeah.
And so that's why this could be kind of helpful sometimes, right? Because it keeps your hands in that same plane and gives you something to push or reach with. If you're using a band, you just pull it tight and do the same thing. But the more we can reach this leg back, squeeze our glute, bring this hip back as we extend and turn. And you can even just take a few pulses, right? Just come here and come back. Here and back till you're starting to feel that stretch right in this area. So really bring that rib cage up with you. So make sure this isn't just an arm movement, right? I'm bringing my rib cage with. Yep. Maria, a little bit more. Instead of up and then turn, come up at that 45-degree angle. Yep. Lean a little more forward. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Oh yeah, that feels better. Oh, that's more of a stretch.
There you go, Erwin. Lead with that chest. Big chest. Good, and then we'll go ahead and on to the other side. This is our last thing, and I'll let you go.
Okay.
Just make sure we're really gluing this hip back. We don't want this hip to follow. So once we pull back and extend this leg, it's like our anchor point. That looks good. So now just take a few pulses, okay? We're going forward and back. So we're bringing this shoulder to knee, and then knee and hip away from shoulder. Shoulder to knee, and hip away from shoulder. This is also a really good way to build a better functional pattern for running and walking. And it's that same concept we were doing a second ago of making that moon shape. So when we're coming here, instead of just being here and turning, I'm trying to make that moon shape where I'm a big half crescent moon.
Okay.
There, nice. And so I'm 90% sure I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I'm not gonna be doing, I have to go get another round of vaccines today. So I might not be moving very much tomorrow. I'll just be telling you what to do. But if on the off chance I really am like down and out, I'll let you guys know, okay? But
Okay.
great job. A lot of those like require a lot of coordination to make happen. So that means practice, right? Practicing coming to this position, doing some more stretches like that.
Okay.
A lot of those are hard because some of the other muscles are so tight, they're not going to let you get into that position. So the more time you spend, the more time you try it, the better those are going to get. I think for you guys specifically, those are going to be really good ones. Okay, so hold on to those. I'll upload this video so you always have that reference. But good job, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow, if not next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I think. Bye, guys.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye bye. Bye, Mary.